Okay, guys, welcome back. It's Lando checking in. I'm here with Brago the Ace or BDA Law. Which one do you like going by? Because I never asked you that.
Brago the Ace.
Okay, Brago the Ace because of the brand name, or just Brago the Ace because you just feel like it?
I think part of it is kind of like, if you know my content, then you know BDA Law, but if you know me, then you know Brago the Ace.
Okay, because you do know that right now, at least in the YouTube streets, BDA Law is like your main brand.
Yeah.
So that's that's not going back. Like BDA have eclipsed Brago a long time ago.
I'm about to change the name to just Brago.
Oh, really?
Nah.
It wouldn't hurt. Because I mean, it wouldn't really hurt.
Yeah, it's just a name.
It wouldn't really hurt. But anyway, guys, sorry for not having a chapter review last week. Again, we are busy individuals. I mean, again, productive men are busy. We have shit to do. Yeah, it's a serious thing, man. There's only 24 hours in a day.
That's facts.
Only 24 hours in a day. Only so much I can get done. But thankfully, we have such I would say a very massive community with like a lot of real estate. There's so many content creators that you can watch. So again, I've noticed that like after a chapter, at least 2 or 3 hours, is a review up, which is something that never used to happen like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's a lot of content going up, you know, after the chapters.
Bro, even the last episode, which we're going to talk about later on in this discussion, I've seen reactions up like 2 seconds after Crunchyroll drop. I'm like, what?
Yeah, people are really prioritizing getting this shit out.
Exactly, and to be fair, that is the best thing to do, because again, it is first come first serve,
right?
Because when most people are looking for like the dopamine hit at the chapter, you know, you just want to see reaction instantly. Right. You're not going to wait for your favorite. You just want to see anyone just reacts to it.
Exactly. Even yesterday, I was kind of late on my reaction, but you know,
it's perfect. I think it came after like the day. It came a couple hours.
Yeah, a couple hours. But I edit my reactions down. You know what I'm saying? So like,
yeah. Looking at the algorithm here, yours is doing better than anyone's I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's doing well.
Doing well.
Yeah, so.
Even better than people who primarily do reactions. Like I don't know if you know Super Mega Freezer.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Which I have my own thoughts on her, but because honestly, I think the next girl. I don't know if you know the next girl that's called
Alona.
No, her name was Alion.
Cherie.
Yeah, Cherie.
Yeah.
I don't want to pit anyone against each other, but I think she's a much better reactor.
Way more I haven't watched that much of her, but
but yes.
Yeah, I know you're talking about with that.
But yet still she have like a quarter of the subs that so make a freezer have.
Well,
I mean, there is reasons towards that.
Yeah.
Because again, if anyone knew who Shelly Prez was on YouTube, if Shelly Prez were to let's say get big and go viral, she would have to credit 2 things to why she go viral, and we know what those 2 things are. And if you know Shelly Prez, you know what those 2 things would be.
This guy, man.
So yeah, it does come down to like. Again, I'm gonna keep it real. I think a lot of people do subscribe to girls based on physical attraction. It's true.
It's a part of it.
Yeah, it is. It's a part of the package.
Yeah.
It's a part of the package, and the
For
fantasy of thinking she's yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, we're not gonna disparage females. I mean, I am somewhat progressive. I'm not that progressive in terms of women, but I am somewhat. I know Brago is married with kids, so he has to love women. I'm not really that big a fan of them. Anyway, still,
he's not a bigger fan of that. That's wild.
This is something that I've been noticing a long time since we got to Onigashima. Oda have been drawing the outskirt of the island a lot. You've been drawing this shit like there's like 20 panels of Onigashima so far.
I think Oda's really proud of that scene.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think he likes it. He likes the fact.
He is.
The thing is, we knew Oda. He's been waiting to get to Wano for a while. So like him drawing like waves and stuff. That's That's him kind of
Yeah.
just showing, hey man, this is one of my favorite arcs. I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna show y'all why I was waiting for this, you know. And I think honestly, Wano's gonna be so important to the future of One Piece. Just the revelations from this arc that, you know, it's I think it's slowly but surely building like what's to come.
Oh yeah, I mean Oda spoke about it that Wano will indeed might have even some sort of the One Piece.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be a very pivotal art to show exactly introduce the One Piece, and also to, again, it's because it might be, in my opinion, like the biggest gain the Straw Hat as a crew make into the entire series.
Yeah, more than likely, because this is probably the greatest enemy they're gonna have to overcome in regards to this alliance.
Yeah. And if we are being fair here, most of the supernovas, I'm not talking about the one that are relevant, like Kid, Lon, Luffy, and Zoro, probably going to be in the story after this. But for Apu, Hawkins, and X Drake, this art might be the biggest contribution they have in the entire series. If you think about it,
after this,
yeah, exactly. Like,
either
never see Apu again.
Yeah, Apu is just going to be like cameos here and there.
Yeah,
Hawkins, I think he could go a special route. X Drake, obviously, he's a Marine, so he's going to be like, we're definitely going to see him again, but it's going to be in passing, you know. But it's not going to be. It's not going to be as prevalent. Like, this arc is it for them, you know.
Yeah, it is. This is the quintessential arc for them to actually prove what they were. And so far, I'm not gonna lie, Apu have been impressive. So, yeah,
I'd like to Apu. I think
at least, yeah,
Apu gets unnecessary hate, I think.
Yeah,
you know, because people don't like the fact that he betrayed Kid, and like, hey, that's what this is how it is.
Rational decisions are always controversial whenever you make them in a scenario where people think loyalty should come first. Because again, if this was the real world, no one would ever look at a Apu decision and say it's not rational.
Yeah.
No one would ever look at a Apu and say you're crazy for not thinking that you can beat two emperors that have a combined experience years of like 40 years being undefeated. No one would look at that and say you're crazy. People would co-sign a Apu and say, yeah, Kid and Luffy are crazy.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of times within One Piece, from our perspective, these Straw Hats believing in Luffy is like, oh, of course they believe in Luffy. That's his captain, and or you know, they're his guy. He's their captain. But I'm like, bro, it's irrational belief.
Yeah, it is.
Right? It's they're believing in him blindly because, and then I think Luffy's proven, or it's been shown that he can overcome even like the most, you know, daunting scenarios, but at the end of the day, I think somebody who, you know, chose a realistic route was Sanji and Whole Cake Island, where he's like, Luffy can't beat Big Mom, you know, like,
yeah.
And then people kill him for that because they're like, what do you mean? You should just believe in Luffy no matter what. And it's like, bro, it's really irrational to just believe in this kid who basically is pretty much still a new pirate to take out all these grizzled vets that's been stalemated in the new world for this long. You know, it's gonna happen, but like, you know, it's just it's not really realistic.
I'll say this: the time that Oda gave us Luffy's growth is not sufficient to reach the level that these people are on.
No,
it can be the same argument for Zoro, for Sanji, for everyone. I mean,
all of them.
Yeah, the new generation have been pretty much cut the duration of what they would take for the old generation to grow in, like, to even say half is an understatement. They have cut it like a tiny piece. They have completely destroyed how fast they are growing compared to the older generation.
Yeah, it's like, you know, Luffy and Zoro may be the greatest swordsman at, like, you know, 22, 23.
21.
Yeah, so like at that point, that I don't know at what age Mihawk became like the greatest, but you know, he was fairly young, I would assume. But
in a flashback with Roger Execution, he was like 9. He was like 21, and he was said to be like a top tier at that time.
Yeah, he was fairly young, so it's kind of like, you know, it's not that crazy because there are, you know, prodigies that's out there. Prodigies do exist, but you know, I think it's like for us seeing the journey and seeing the growth. Like when you try to rationalize it and look at all these other pirates, and even Mihawk said that, you know, Luffy's journey and what he's trying to become is even greater than what he did of what
Mhm.
he accomplished, what Zoro's trying to accomplish.
Mhm.
So for him kind of doing that, it's like, man, it's
It
like,
is. It is.
it's insane, bro.
It's a gigantic task. I mean, and, yeah, it's a massive task. So we move on to probably the most competent man in Wano. I mean, most people vote Kanjuro to be one of the most effective persons, along with the entire the Kurozumi, because they have just been completely stellar this entire arc.
Yeah.
So Kanjuro once again, I won't even say once again, because at this point it should be a normalcy. Like this dude join ability is crazy. Like
Yeah.
nothing surprised me anymore.
Yeah, Kandro, he's had an insane transformation from just
Yeah.
basically irrelevant scabbard to
Mm-hmm.
probably most competent, most interesting, most savage. It's
Mhm.
like it's just a transformation that I've liked
Yeah,
a lot.
it is.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
is. I think he opens the door for more characters that we once perceived to be stupid or incompetent to actually be great. Like take for instance the Murara Groomy captain. If he's pretty hype, I wouldn't be surprised, to be quite honest. The Murara Groomy.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I
he's
think
been shown time and time again. So it's we gotta see, we gotta wait and see.
let me get my pronunciation right. I think it's the Miniwara Groomy.
I forget the name.
Yeah, I
knew
know. I know it came from I know the term the force came from Kenshin. I don't know if you ever read Rurouni Kenshin before.
Yeah, I have
Okay, so the group
the Squad of
the
Samurai.
group yeah, so they belongs to that group.
Yeah, the
For
Mima
the wolf.
Marigumi.
Yes, Muramagumi. Yep. Okay, so that guy, if the captain is pretty hype, I wouldn't be surprised because again, Conjure opened the door to show you that people can just turn like this. They're completely different person
Yeah.
in the entire story. So Conjuro drew two samurais. Again, the attention to detail. They're in traditional armor on horses, well mounted, with spears and a sword, but they're headless, which is supposed to like be like a visual representation of what you want the scabbards to actually be at the end of this conflict, which is pretty savage. So what do you think about that? Like, what do you think about Conjuro joinability and what he could possibly do? Because I have multiple thoughts on how he could improve himself even more.
Well, the thing is with his drawing ability, it's not as, I'm not saying it's the exact same thing, but it's almost like Big Mom's homie, right? Where he can create
Okay.
essentially anything, right?
Yes.
And one thing we're not sure about is the durability of these things. We saw like when he was faking, the dragon Ryunosuke, after it barely made it up, it kind of died. But we're not sure with him and these fortified drawings, like exactly like how long they can last. Like what exactly is a lifespan of these things, because it seems like they can be endless. So I think he can, reinforce himself. He can draw armor. He can draw like different weapons. It's like there's so many ways in which like this could go. It's just, it's honestly like crazy, bro.
I think the most important aspect of his power is the fact that he can give these drawing functions.
Yeah.
And they can operate on their own too. It's like they're an autopilot or something. I don't know if he can like via telekinesis like speak the thoughts into the clones. Because I remember when he was on the boat with Kinemon and company, his clone was speaking exactly like how he would speak in terms of his main body. The clone revealed he's a Kurozumi. He had the same emotions. So I'm wondering if he can actually do that. And the reason why I'm specifying this is that many people don't know the only duty that Conjuro have done so far in Wano Country where he taken it upon himself to do was to actually bury Yasue. And Conjuro's hairbrush is made of hair. Yasue's most distinct feature in terms of why they recognize him so quickly and what he's known for, being the hedgehog, is his hair.
Yeah.
His big afro that spikes up. It's not hard to reason that Oda would be in terms of like this insensitive to actually have Conjuro polo Yasue's head or his hair. I was like, yo, that would not surprise me at all.
That'd be dope. I'd like that a lot.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. So and again, this could go back to the end of the chapter. This could go to the end of the chapter. Sorry, because I think one of the reasons why Kiku might be crying is because of this. At least it's my theory. It's my theory. But anyway, it seemed like Izo has been debriefed about Conjurer being the traitor. She doesn't seem surprised at all.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
And also, one more thing again. If anyone knows how strong the scabbards are, it's someone who shared an environment with them for over 20 years, and that's Conjurer, and he's still brave enough to actually go against them by himself.
By himself too.
that is actually very impressive.
Yeah, he's by himself, and he's like,
he's by himself. Again, of course, he pretty much did a kainu to Luffy, praise their tenacity.
Yeah,
because he knows them. Yeah,
it's wild because it's all of them. Raizo, Kawamatsu, Kiku.
Yeah, all of them.
Izo, all of them. And he's just there, like, yeah, okay.
So we move on to Raizo saying that we will not lose our heads. Please release Lord Momonosuke at once. Okay, I have an issue with this again. I don't hate Raizo. I don't hate Raizo, but I think there should be somewhat of a hierarchy in terms of who gets to speak, who gets to dialogue, who gets the authoritative leadership. Ashura Doji and Kawamatsu, in my opinion, at least portrayal wise, has been portrayed to be way more important than Raizo in terms of the scabbards. But yes, still, Raizo pretty much have more like important details and dialogues in them. Remember, like he's the one who like tell Odin like your dreams are a dream.
Yeah,
Raizo been talking a lot.
No, that's the thing. Raizo has always been the one to speak. Like, even, I don't know if you remember when Odin was being executed, he was talking a lot there too, where people felt like he was a traitor, So it was just like Raizo's always been. I think he's just a talkative, like funny one that's a part of the crew that's like always trying to be the voice of reason, but like people just like, yo, shut the fuck up.
I would love to see Ashura Doji take a more authoritative leadership role, because again, this dude used to lead Curry.
Yeah,
I mean, I would love to see him speak more. Maybe it's my bias, but I would love to see Ashura Doji be the one to confront this dumb situation, which is gonna lead me into why I think this was a big missed opportunity for Oda. I mean, I like Kiku, but why is Kiku the front runner here? Why?
I don't know, honestly.
It's very random.
I don't know. Yeah, that is weird.
It is random because, again, so far, for those who don't know, Kiku's only real feat so far is probably cutting off Yakasuna here. Back all the way in Bakuro Town. That's the only thing she has done so far. You could make the argument that because she identifies as a female, she's more emotional. That's the reason she's more impulsive to like move to Kanjuro, because he's saying these bad things to Momonosuke. But again, Ashura Doji and Kawamatsu portrayal is like they are the commanders of the scabbards. I would expect them to be the one to confront Kanjuro and take the lead. Am I getting that wrong, or?
More than likely, I mean, like I said, Ashura Doji, I don't feel like he's never been that type. I mean, but he was leading people for a while. Yeah,
exactly. He was a leader of Kuri for a very long time.
If anything, reserved. I would say, like, maybe the Minx, like maybe Inarashi and Nekomamushi should probably be the ones taking charge. I don't know why Kiku's the one. Like, I can't think of why Kiku would be the one to be just out ahead of the pack. Not only she most likely the youngest as well. She's also a student of Kinemon. Yeah. Which again, in terms of like power ranking, that does not look good. I guess it's probably what it is. Like, where it's in terms of that, like she's just fulfilling that role because he's not there.
Oh, okay, he's representative of Kinemon and that.
Yeah, so much.
Okay, like a placeholder. And one more thing as well. So this is very weirdly placed. So this situation is very tense. It's very serious. Momonosuke is being set to be executed, but Dogstorm and Cat Viper, Nekomamushi and Inarashi, are having like a little soft chat. Like, like after hearing that your lord is about to be killed, I don't think asking people about their arm would be what would be on your mind.
I think this is just just typical One Piece. Just
it's comedy, but again, it's like it's placed in a scene where like you just heard a woman was about to die. Like, okay,
it's like I know people have complained about this in the past where they've had issues with One Piece and tone, where
Yes.
it's like it goes from this tense moment of like Kiku and all this stuff, and then they have like a quick like lighthearted quip between each other, and it's like okay, but it's this is One Piece. This is One Piece, and even and I think even just just that moment, it's more so. I think it's more so about Kiku than the others. That's how I'm looking at it.
Because she's probably more emotional.
Yeah.
And Momonosuke actually didn't entirely fail versus Kanjuro. He just wasn't quick enough for have the ability to run away from Kanjuro, but he actually managed to free himself, which is actually pretty impressive considering how competent Kanjuro is. So
but even looking at that panel, it's almost as if Kanjuro let him get free just so he could beat him up, right? Because look at him. It's like
he's pretty stagnant. Momonosuke running away.
Yeah, he's like, huh?
And that type of reaction isn't justified by getting like cut in your arm. I mean,
if you were just
cut in your arm, stop you like that.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, okay.
But Momonosuke, credit for him, he's been gradually taking down the lead and actually trying to defend himself. Which again, in terms of his standard, this is huge. I mean,
I saw somebody say that Momonosuke has progressed more than Luffy so far in One Piece.
One thing that always surprised me, though, okay, I'm not gonna be too hard on this scene, but wouldn't it be convenient if Momonosuke just going through dragon form and just fly away? I mean, wouldn't that be the go-to power that he would use in a logical sense?
Technically, but
technically, yeah.
I don't think it hasn't ever been clarified just how good he is at using his powers.
No, it hasn't been. So that's my bad.
It's random, right? Because it's like
it's very random. Okay, so it doesn't really understand how to step on clothes like consciously yet, but I just kind of find it weird about him and Orochi. It doesn't seem to go to the fruit powers immediately like most zones do. Because if you go to the execution with X Drake and Sanji, the moment Sanji grab Otoko, Drake like behind him with a big bite. Yeah. Which shows just how used to scenario that he is. That it's like instinctively he goes in devil fruit mode. And I kind of see the same thing from Momonosuke or Orochi. Yeah. They don't really transform that often in terms of when they're in danger, which speaks to inexperience in a sense. But I would love to see it a bit more, but I don't nitpick on my part, but it's just something that I like to see Momonosuke do, because I do think the dragon fruit should play a role in this war at some point.
Yeah, it will. It will.
And he hardly ever use it, so it's not really convincing me that it will be if he doesn't really use it that much. But anyway, minor detail, but Inuarashi, he came back with a new arm. Nekomamushi came back with a new arm, which seems to have some form of cannon on it. But to his surprise, Inuarashi also has his own ideas, and he has two swords, which makes him Oden S.
Yeah, it's
and then the sword in the leg.
Well, which one do you think is like better?
Inuarashi.
Okay.
No, Nekomamushi. Sorry, jeez, I got that.
I'm about to say, I'm team Nekomamushi.
And the reason why I say that is because, again, innovation is nice to see on it Inuarashi's part, but come on, one sword in the arm, one sword in the foot. It doesn't really add up to what a traditional two-sword style would actually be.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like how that's gonna work.
Yeah, or they're gonna work. I think majority of the time he will be using one sword. I think the sword could be best served as a replacement leg just for mobility purposes, than actually attack purposes. But Nekomamushi now has a iron on his arm, which he could probably hockey up. He probably shoot bullets. I mean, it's so much potential. So I think he gets the edge right now.
Yeah, I got Nekomamushi. I think Nekomamushi because he can still fight the regular way, and that adds to his, adds to his firepower. So like,
and he has something new in his arsenal too.
Yeah,
I think he already has like a little trident stuff, a little staff thing.
Yeah, so he's just adding to what he already has. Where for in Orochi, I think now is like trying to figure out. It's like a whole new style.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's a good point.
He's like, you got to fight with your legs this way while trying to move and
bro, just look at it. Like the swords aren't in sync. He's not simultaneously attacking one on the other. One sword is up in the air, the other sword
it's
is
like
and
he's
the other sword
kicked.
being
It's
swayed.
like it looks like he kicked with it.
He's kicked. Exactly. It's not. It would not be effective.
It's on some
Trust
like
me.
cheeky stuff, I think.
Yeah, it is some cheeky stuff.
The best thing would be like, bro, take the other one off and make it a fucking.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I mean, if Oda want to be productive and and resourceful, Locke would give them legitimate limbs. I mean, it's not that hard.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I mean, Locke would give them limbs if they really wanted it.
he definitely could.
He
absolutely could. No cap.
So we go to a character that this is the first time we're going to speak about this character because we never covered. No, we speak about this character before 983, but we never speak about the reveal of the character because we never covered 984. So Yamato, which is a girl, and again, just to start this out good, just start this out with definitions. In my opinion, she's a girl. Like in terms of identification, she is a girl.
Yeah,
and I'll explain why. She's not trying to be a man. She's trying to be Odin.
Yeah.
So Odin gender dictates her gender, which again isn't really a justifiable reason for you to be a man. In my opinion, I'm not saying that it has to be the only reason why she wants to be a man. It could be due to the barbaric nature of the fights. It could be to her piloting Kaido's techniques. But when Oda introduced you as a female, it didn't specify, at least give a rational reason why you want to be a man. Because I don't think you're trying to mimic someone's identity. So you take their gender role makes you legitimately a man. Because again, if Odin was a girl, would she be a girl or would she go to a man? So
yeah,
Kiku being a girl, Kiku being a girl, which is a transition from a man, is a bit different from hers because Kiku generally have feminine qualities and feminine attributes that she want to reflect in her gender, which makes more sense than Yamato, who just seems to be motivated by Odin rather than motivated by masculine traits.
Yeah, it's so weird because people try to persecute you based on what pronoun you use.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like, man, listen, it's Kiku at this point, especially after like the new chapters we received. It's kind of showing like she doesn't have the resolve Yamato doesn't have the resolve like Kiku. Where I feel like Kiku feels like in her heart.
Yes.
What I'm saying? She says she's a woman. So that's why for me, it's no problem calling Kiku a woman, right? Because that's how Kiku is living her life. For Yamato, she's more so she just wants to be Odin.
Because Odin's a man and she wants to be a man.
That's it.
That is basically it.
It's not, it doesn't go any deeper than that. So, it's like, if she, said in her heart, in my heart, I'm a man because I want to be Odin, cool. But at this point, it's almost like she's cosplaying. Like, no cap.
Yeah, she's cosplaying in a sense.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably going to make a thread on this on Twitter because, again, issues like these are best written out. Because, again, people are going to find arguments in the way you speak, down the words you use. It's best to think about this and write it out than to actually speak on it abruptly. So I'm going to definitely make a thread on this as to why I think Kiku and Yamato were completely different in terms of the way they identify themselves.
Yeah.
So Yamato is doing some pretty ABC logic here. So she's saying that because Luffy's Ace's brother, that means he should be fond of her and he should give her a ride on his ship. Sorry.
Yeah.
Which begs the question: where does she want to go? Does she want to leave Wano country, or does she want to just be somewhere specific?
I think I think Oda is holding out a little bit because we're gonna find out eventually, like the information from the journal.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be specific place that she wants to go. That's going to lead and tie into the Straw Hat's journey. But I don't know. Okay, Yamato seems very simple, like a very simple-minded person.
Yep.
So it's like it's hard to say. I mean, I don't know if Oda's just going to just wants a parallel here with Whitebeard and
maybe
Luffy, where it's like, hey, Odin asked to join Whitebeard. Yamato's asking to join Luffy. She's cosplaying or she's trying to be Odin, But it's We got to see where it goes.
But then again, she's saying, so speaking as Kozuki Oden, is this request being made by Yamato or this request being made by what she perceived Oden would want to do?
At this point, I got to say it's like based on what she thinks Oden would want.
Yeah, because Oden values freedom, and she would value that as well.
Yeah, I think at some point we find out exactly what she wants, but I think now it's just about Oden.
There have been shouts for her being a Straw Hat candidate, which I have an issue with for one simple reason. And I've seen a lot of people make their reason as to why she shouldn't be a Straw Hat. Some are more legitimate than others. I've seen people make a reason saying that she would steal a spotlight from prominent characters like Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy, because she would be somewhat of a fan favorite. I'm not really. I see their point, but I'm not really behind that. The reason why I think she can't be a Straw Hat is because of the knowledge that she holds. She doesn't share the same shock value regarding the One Piece as they do, because right now she potentially could know what One Piece actually is. And you run a very dangerous risk putting her in Luffy's space.
I think it's unlikely. I think it's
very
highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah, but yeah, right. It's a possibility with Oden's journal. But I think I think for her, she's gonna have information that's gonna help Luffy.
Exactly. It's at the same reason why I think Oda didn't want Jinbei to join so soon.
Yeah,
he's more advanced than them in certain area, like for instance,
around for a while.
Richmond Island. Yeah, exactly. Certain experience,
and he's been
exactly
on every facet in regards to. He has ties to the greatest pirates in the world, and for Jinbei, I'm sure like if they had somebody like that early, man, it's like
Jinbei. Jinbei is accompanied with wisdom and knowledge of the world, which we wouldn't really see through the short glaze because he would already have those already.
Listen, Jinbei is always bringing information that we have no idea about.
I mean, he told us about Blackbeard,
right?
Being an emperor and a Kainu
and all that stuff. Like he knew that he had all that information. Like if Jinbei was a part of the crew early, like how much more would be revealed to us? It's almost as if Jinbei is on the crew, it'd be almost as bad as, or even worse than Nico Robin. Nico Robin, where it's like Nico Robin knows so much, but she doesn't say anything until it's like the perfect time, you know.
I mean, a reason for not saying something is pretty stupid, but I'm not going to touch on that. I'm going to leave it. But anyway, so Yamato is basically saying she met Ace on the island. She's been on the island since she's 8. I'm kind of surprised that she's surprised that Kaido, a dude who beats her every time she challenges his authority, would be bluffing about a handcuff. No, I mean, if he walks like a duck, talks like a duck, he's a duck. If Kaido's abusive, beat you personally, trust me, those handcuffs will explode.
I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical.
Skeptical?
Yeah, because it seems like Kaido has long-term plans for Yamato.
Okay, that's a very good point. But again,
because wouldn't it be like a because I think mentally Kaido has been manipulating her since she was a kid, right? Every time she challenged me, I beat her down. You know, obviously they have the Flying Six to look for her and find her anytime. And so I think mentally she's more trapped than anything, where they just put the regular shackles on her, and it's like it's been keeping her there this long just because I think she also has a perception of who her father is. So for her, it's kind of like, of course he would do it, right? There's no way he'd put fake cuffs on me. So, you know, I think they could be fake. I mean, and judging off of just how things have been in the past with cuffs and not leaving, you know.
Yes, Sanji. But again, Luffy did ask if these were the prison shackles, which is the same one that Queen put on him. So
yeah,
that's more validity that it might be actually real ones that will probably explode. Yeah. That's a very good point, though, because Kaido have used for Yamato, which we will learn in a few. So Yamato is basically saying she want to join. Luffy's asking if she want to join her side, and she's saying, well, of course I want to carry the Oden's will. Luffy letting her know that, hey, regardless of where you stand, I will beat Kaido, and she imagined that she probably could do the exact same thing to Kaido as well. So, not really much like take away from that, whether or not she hates Kaido as what he's been portrayed so far, and she admire Oden.
Yeah.
So it justified why she probably would want to see Kaido be defeated or defeated him by her own hands. But anyway, Luffy's volunteering to try to take the handcuff off, which again is classic Oda's way of like introducing a new power system by doing the thing that he couldn't accomplish before. Like Luffy beating the pacifista with one hit post time skip while struggling pre time skip. So to justify Luffy's real or show that he's real and Luffy can do it whenever he wants, gives him the same challenge. Where in the prison, he subconsciously he didn't took it off. He didn't took it off voluntarily. Like he just subconsciously do it because he wanted to live. But here he's asking to actually saying that he can actually do it.
Yeah.
So yeah. And do you think these are sea stone? Do you
No.
think they might? Okay, I think they. I'd agree. It's not sea stone because I was thinking that Yamato might have devil fruit and Oda is hiding it. But then again, the one that Luffy had on in the Inferno wasn't sea stone, so
Yeah. I don't
likely
think
these aren't.
I don't know.
But
It would be
again-
a cool twist if Yamato was a devil fruit user.
I think that she probably is. I'm
You
telling
think
you,
so?
I wouldn't be surprised she is. Well, given that she wants to be like Oden, maybe no. But then again, the same thing can apply to why she isn't a swordswoman if she want to be like Oden. So she has to mimic every single characteristic of Oden, every single one. I don't really think so. 'Cause she's not a
Yeah,
swordswoman.
not necessarily. She
Yeah.
doesn't have to make everything, but I just feel like she's not gonna.
It could be.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm leaning towards the possibility that anyone could be stronger than what they are currently shown to be is because in this arc we need the strength. Like Yamato being like a command level character would actually be a good thing because we need the reinforcements.
Yeah, at this point, the Straw Hats and like their goals and where they should be by the end of Wano, they had Yamato, somebody that should be a commander caliber character. This really could change things. This really could change things for them. Where I think based on everything that happens to Big Mom and Kaido, it's like leveling up significantly.
It is, and she might be. I heard they spoke about it that she could be like the X factor for Kaido, like Perosperace or Big Mom, which is a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
So we go over to the main stage, and this actually surprised me, given the reputation of this individual. I'm surprised that Big Mom actually accomplished her goals, like capturing Nami, getting back Zeus.
Well,
I mean, it's not.
It is surprising based on her track record, but
Exactly.
for me, it's never surprising because when Big Mom does things, it's not surprising because she has all the tools in her arsenal to complete
Of course.
these things. So
Of course.
it's just a situation where Big Mom hasn't been accomplishing things, but we know she can. It's just Oda doesn't want it, but she can.
Yeah.
She absolutely can.
She can.
You know what I'm saying?
So Zeus is completely out. Oh God! And Big Mom bounty has been like shown in terms of the box. We know what the bounty was from chapter 957. Oda is more comfortable showing it now.
Let me ask you: would have been better if like we saw it?
If the bounty was here,
yeah, or like
My
everything just thrown in to 957 was made it just epic and hype and.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think some of the best bounty reveals actually come through external validation in terms of we hearing people speak about other people than them actually saying it. Because again, when we learned that Luffy bounty was 100 million via the guy who got the newspaper back Rebellion that was pretty hype compared to us just seeing Luffy's bounty over his head or seeing his bounty when he was coming into Wano. I think when people give it external validation, like that is much more that's epic to me because again, One Piece is a story where you are what people think you are, and at every single bounty that they spoke about chapter 957, there's this commentary like, oh my God, so huge, so scary, like that adds to the value of how much the bounty is being perceived. But on the flip side, Oda could have stretched it out and actually give each Yonko individual reveals that probably would have been more epic in terms of the long run, a more high moment instead of packing them into one. But that's again, I like 957. I think it's one of the best chapters ever.
Yeah, I
I
love
think
it.
one of the best
I love
chapter
it.
ever. So I'm not mad at Oda for actually doing that. But
Yeah.
Big Mom here is showing some respect to Kaido, which is showing that they're tuning aligned with each other.
The Big Mom and Kaido thing. I expected Big Mom to be tied up for a while, based on just like how things been playing out. So her pulling up like, yo, I'm ready, I'm here, aren't I? Just having Zeus capturing, Nami and those guys. I'm like, oh, okay. Big Mom,
things in order.
Yeah. But I guess we'll get to it. I think there's a clear hierarchy here.
Yeah, they are. Of course, there is. I mean, if you look at this, the symbolism of what's going on right now, Kaido's on top looking down. I mean, he's the one giving a speech. I mean, Oda made it clear that Kaido is indeed the one that we're after because it's his regional control of the territory and so on and so on.
And even goals, right? We're like...
Yeah, even goals too, yeah.
It's
and
like...
people perceive Kaido to be stronger as well, so there's that.
You know what? Bounty's not an accurate representation of strength, right?
Of course, no.
But it's almost as if it's a gauge of just around where somebody should be, right? Again, it's not accurate at all, but I don't think it's a coincidence that Kaido has a higher bounty. They have the highest bounties, and Kaido has a higher bounty than Big Mom. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll say this.
Even though Big Mom technically has been the pirate longer than Kaido. And been like, I suppose, more prominent than Kaido longer, because we know Kaido was more of an apprentice on like rocks, right? And then Oda did I think it was stated somewhere that Kaido was a part of Shanks' generation more than Big Mom's. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, bounty, all that isn't accurate. But when you look at the entire picture, I think for me it's pretty clear.
Yeah, justifiable.
You can justify Kaido being perceived as stronger. I'll say that.
Of course you can. You can also go vice versa, because many people always go back to 951, where Big Mom fought Kaido without Zeus, without Prometheus, and they always say, well, Big Mom was the one that's nerfed then, and she fell into a standstill. So depending on what particularly you want to use, I mean, go ahead. I'm not really that big and who's stronger. Personally, to me, I think it's Kaido. I'm giving the portrayal, but it wouldn't hurt me if it was Big Mom or Shanks or whoever. I don't really put a lot of energy into who she's stronger, Yonko. I mean, I think they're all around the same level. So
it doesn't matter. It's not. It's just a conversation thing.
Yeah, it is a conversation thing.
That's all it is.
So the speech that Kaido eventually says after this, basically, I'm not going to say every single thing, but he's saying that he's going after ancient weapons. He's going after One Piece. And then when Big Mom seems to be in one accord, which is what I spoke about in the last podcast that we done, that maybe Kaido's plan is to get rid of the dead weight, promote Yamato to a position where he could control her, while ascending himself to a higher position where him and Big Mom could go on a greater goal.
Yeah.
Similar to what Philad Ozai did in Avatar, where he became the Phoenix Lord, and then he gave his daughter Azula the Fire Lord spot, and so he could go after the Avatar, and they could and she could deal with the Avatar friends. So that's kind of the portrayal here, where Kaido is giving himself a bigger task.
Yeah, his eyes are beyond Onigashima.
Yes, it's beyond Onigashima at this point. It is way beyond Onigashima at this point. Again, he has the upper hand. I mean, he has a Yonko behind him now.
It's we know like what happened in the chapter, but I think he's been expendable ever since Big Mom said, "Yo, we're allying." Ever since Big Mom said, "Yo, we're good. I'm with you." Kaido now officially has the firepower he's needed to overcome all the obstacles he feels like are in his way. So for Orochi, it was only a matter of time, because now Kaido's eyes, they're beyond Wano. Like he's claimed Wano. He's had Wano for years. Now it's time to claim the world.
And for those who are still skeptical about Kaido's trusting Big Mom or Big Mom trusting Kaido, because remember that Big Mom wasn't really told about the Magara port, which is where they normally come from, which again led our crew to be knocked out by Marco, because they took the waterfall route again. people use that as to say that Kaido didn't tell Big Mom, didn't trust her. That is seeming more like just like an older plot convenience stuff because he wanted Marco to kick them off.
Yeah.
Because Big Mom and Kaido are still there in one accord right now. He's still there actually trusting each other. There, again, it could be just a facade, but according to me, they look pretty
maybe. Yeah. But I think it's enough. It's enough there to kind of say that something is going to go awry. Something will go awry in regards to this alliance.
It's especially the portrayal of alliances. I mean, Robin said it best. They always end in betrayal.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
So I wouldn't be surprised. If they do. That's something that we're kind of expecting.
Yeah.
So the dude who has the least to offer is saying the most. Orochi. Well, isn't this something? Okay, so my issue on okay, so we're gonna talk about Orochi and if he's dead, yes or no. But before we go to that, because that's the biggest topic. Personally, to me, I know this might sound weird, but I don't think Kaido is the one who truly killed Orochi. If Orochi's dead, I know people are like, what do you mean, Lando? I mean, Kaido cut his head off. The murder weapon and the murderer are all the true cause of why most people die. There's always build up to why you find yourself in those situations, whether it be environmental neglect, carelessness, dependability. And I think in Orochi's case, dependability is why he's dead. If he's dead, Orochi has ample time to gain the resources, power, and the environmental control to at least bring some leverage to Kaido where he becomes somewhat of a necessity to Kaido rather than a burden.
Yeah.
Because again, Kaido protects Orochi, not vice versa. Kaido supply Orochi, not vice versa. When Kaido get pirates off the sea that he captures, he get into Orochi in Killer. Orochi doesn't supply Kaido with any strong opponents or any strong allies. So Orochi dependability is what killed him. He became too dependent on Kaido. And I think that's the real issue why Kaido killed him.
Yeah, that's beginning and the end for him. Like you said, that just overall.
Yeah,
Orochi. I mean, even when he's talking to the CP0, he was still
he's bragging about Kaido.
So, yeah, it's just been, and this has been couple of decades now.
It is, and again, even before Kaido came in the picture, his birthright, where he was the grandson of the grandfather of the dynamo of Kurozumi, his birthright is why he got chosen by the old lady. It wasn't because of his expertise or his potential. It's because he was a grandson.
Yeah, he was born into this.
All of his life is like. He's been given shit.
Yep. He
just been lucky. And again, he hasn't used any of those time to garner any leverage to argue with or to trade with or negotiate with. He's just been completely dependent.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
Yeah, you seriously. I mean, when you look at it again, I think Dendra said it best when he was like, one of the reasons why Orochi got outsmarted by the samurai, where they could take their ships and move across one country to the port so quickly, because he concave himself in in the fourth capital, that he doesn't even know the environment of Wano anymore. He has yet to expand or build something for himself. If Kaido of Udon, Orochi should have at least turned Kori into something, somewhere he can compete with, as leverage to say, okay, Kaido, I produce this. You're gonna need me for this. He didn't do that. He just completely dependent.
Yeah, that, like you said, that's the main reason. Orochi has not progressed at all in these decades in Wano. Like, he's just been living on the Kaido shadow, and for Kaido, like, the first opportunity he has, it's like, all right, I'm out of here.
I know Orochi said that he wanted to make the whole entire Wano suffer because they made Kozuki suffer. I know they made the Kurozumi suffer, but still, bro. I mean, if you want to cement your position as a leader, you have to bring something to the table. Kaido cannot bring the table on the chairs, the beverages. You're just sitting there and expecting the view as an equal.
Yeah, it's bro. I don't know how we didn't see this coming. Like, this was so
exactly. This was so obvious, yo. Brago, put it in a real world perspective. You're a partner for a company. That company is bringing you, in terms of the company is the one supplying your capital, giving you resources,
everything.
The moment that company partners with an equal company of value, you should be saying, shit, if I don't step up myself and make myself useful, that company might cut me off because at this point I'm a liability. For Orochi not to see that when Big Mom came and joined Kaido as another emperor, that he would be less needed is crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, bro, I feel like for Kaido, man, the annoyance of Orochi, I think it's lingered.
Yes, it has.
Because going back to the past, and I think even with his battle with Odin, and just, it's like Orochi,
yeah, that late, old lady,
the old hag where he killed her. Normally in situations like that, it's like, yeah, the subordinate is the one who did it, but I would normally hold the person who was in charge to hold them accountable.
Yes,
so it's kind of like, I feel like for Kaido, he's been waiting for the opportunity to kind of just like rid himself of Orochi, because he's more of a parasite and just something just holding Kaido down and bringing him up. Like, he fulfilled his purpose once Kaido took over Wano, but since then it's kind of been like, bro, you just here and you eat, you drink, you do whatever over there, and it doesn't really add to what I'm doing. So
I mean, they also hold a territory that you could argue has the most to offer, because the floor capital have more people, more resources, and also more environmental, I would say, more environmental structure to actually work with, because they have an entire mountain. They have it's just a better place to build upon.
Yeah.
So Kaido wanted to expand. That would have already been his plan. But okay, so I get to the main thing with Orochi. There's two arguments here. There's the argument of, well, Orochi is special and Orochi needed in the story, so Oda will find some way to bring him back. And there's my argument that, Orochi's scenario is kind of different from others because, one, he's not needed anymore. Two, the way he's been shown to be killed, there's blood. He's in his base form, and devil fruits aren't innate, so unless he didn't transform before he got beheaded, how can he use his fruit? So okay, I would just say, if I think Orochi's dead, I would say I think he's dead, but again, I leave room for error that he could be alive, just based on traditional storytelling wise, where this is One Piece after all. So do you think he's dead, or do you think he's gonna
I think he's alive. I think with Oda, his track record,
his track record is bad.
yeah, so bro, I wish this was like a regular thing. Like if we didn't have all that history of Oda just not killing people, I'd be more okay with saying, yeah, he's dead for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Especially in the manner that he was killed, beheaded, and of course anyone knows about the legend of Yamato and Orochi and Susanoo and Habakuri. We know that heads are okay. So Yamato and Orochi isn't really a Hydra. It doesn't really regenerate heads. But again, Oda hasn't really always be 100% consistent in history.
Exactly. He just pulls from different stories.
Exactly. He can pull in things whenever he wants. So Orochi head could actually grow back, even though mythologically wise, it never did in myths. But again, Oda can insert whatever he wants to insert in the story.
Facts.
So yes, his head could grow back. But again, devil fruits aren't supposed to be innate. You're supposed to activate them before you actually activate your abilities. But he was caught off guard. He was in mid-sentence, bro. And his head got...
Yeah.
Did he think he activated his fruit then, or how did it work?
So two things. One, if Orochi's dead, Oda would definitely showcase Orochi's fruit with someone else, because that's Oda wants to do that. He wants to showcase his fruit, because Oda has not showcased the special ability of the mythical Zoan that Orochi has.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
So unless Oda is going to be where like Orochi gets killed and Yamato finds that devil fruit, and Yamato,
yeah,
right. But if he's not dead, I think it creates an interesting scenario, because then for Orochi, he would have to go to the alliance of the Straw Hats and try to convince them that, hey, I'm no longer working with Kaido.
That wouldn't work, Brago. For a man who completely done so much horrific crimes, where he directly killed Yasue, he contributed to the death of Odin, Remember, he was the one who got Higuro's wife to be killed by Kaido
Yeah.
because Higuro was being stubborn. I don't think Luffy's morality would actually sit well with the fan base if they actually forgive him. And so the question becomes, even if Orochi isn't dead, what is dead for sure is Kaido's trust in him and also the alliance. That's completely dead. So the question becomes, does Oda force a third party here where Orochi's subordinates remain loyal to Orochi, and he uses them to like wither down Kaido's forces so the Straw Hats could have a much easier time to fight them? Or does he really redeem Orochi? Because again, there are avenues for Orochi to be actually redeemed. Because for those who don't know, Orochi's grandfather actions was what the entire Kurozumi clan were prosecuted off of, which is completely unfair. The individual cannot speak for the collective. And the Kurozumi clan got prosecuted, the land got taken away, they were killed. So there is an era where Orochi deserves some sympathy. He said, "Oh, I don't want to go down that route, sure, but I wouldn't advise it because, again, Orochi done so much bad stuff that, Jesus, again, the smiled fruits, huh."
Yeah, I with the
I don't see how it goes.
It would be hard for the scabbards to like literally look Orochi in his face and just say, "Yo, bro,
Yeah, it'd be very hard.
That's difficult. That'd be difficult. So it's I mean, if he's dead, I would actually like that more.
I like exactly me. Me too.
Yeah, but it's just hard to imagine that he is. That's all.
Yeah, because Oda have created an environment of skepticism around deaths where, and done it so many times, so many fake outs that people, oh god, he's like a prank at this point.
Yeah, dog.
And again, the nature of his death too, him being beheaded, given the parallels to the Yamato and Orochi, where it's being beheaded in mythology, and it again, Oda could always go to Hydra route where it regenerates. If Orochi was pierced in the heart, I'll more believe it because again, it's a different method of death than what the mythological Orochi actually got in history by Susano.
Yeah.
Okay, so the beheading thing could be just a reference to him growing back his head soon. So,
because I think what's gonna happen is like they're just gonna kind of leave the area, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be like,
yeah, he's gonna come back. But if that do happen, though, I must say he's gonna be the first person in One Piece history to have an innate fruit where it activates, irregardless if he activated yes or no. Because he never activated his fruit before he got beheaded. Like he got beheaded mid-sentence.
yeah,
like, he was talking, bro.
He definitely was. I mean, it would be cool if Oda goes back and like gives it, from Orochi's perspective, and then it shows like right at the last second.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he feels it. And just to dispel the myth, this isn't the ink clone, so it can't be because ink clone is made of ink and it doesn't bleed. Here we clearly see blood, so it is an actual body part. If it's not Orochi's head, like his main head, and he's dead, it's at least a body part that you can actually say got severed. It is actually his body, so
yeah.
There's no ink clone here.
It goes back to it. Like, do you think for Logia they have to like activate their devil fruits?
So for them, they're innate because they become their particular element. So even if they do die, there could be some residual effect where you could see where Enel, where even though he did die, electricity still run through his veins.
Right.
So his body, came back.
Right.
But for Zoans, their fruit, it isn't innate. Like Kaido cannot just fly because he wants to. He have to transform the dragon first, then step on clothes and fly. Okay. So the closest thing we have to saying that is innate is probably Marco healing the animals.
Yeah.
And again, it completely depends because again, Marco brought his flames out into his hand. You could make the argument that he's partially transformed, but he didn't really fully transform.
Yeah.
Or it's a special effect of his fruit. Again, the avenue for Orochi being not a... Okay, let me say this. The avenue for Orochi being alive is clearly there. I mean, Mythical Zoan, special ability, like, it's there, but it would deconstruct so many stuff that we already know in the series already. Like, he would be a special zone. Because, again, think about it. Even if you do decapitate him again, unless you move the head away from the body or do something, he could just regenerate again.
It's so like
he's overpowered.
Yeah. because if Orochi has a thing where like he's literally just, you know, you have, I don't know, how would you kill him if it, like,
exactly that's my point. Like if he can use his food innately and he can regenerate even if he didn't activate it,
crazy.
how does he die?
But honestly, like a lot of mythical zones, they have like crazy abilities.
Yeah, they do have special abilities.
You know, like
shockwave.
The shockwaves, he transforms into like a whole Buddha. With Marco, we don't know how much he heals, but it's like he can heal for a very long time. Cardian and Devon, she can transform into other people.
Also, nine-tailed fox too,
and she's a nine-tailed fox. You know, with Kaido, we like, I don't know if I don't know if it's like his, him being that indomitable is because of his devil fruit, but it's just like these mythical Zoans, they're on another level, man.
Yep, and they have more room for exploration too.
Yeah,
he can justify anything.
He can play with it.
Zone.
He can play.
Yeah,
with
he can play with it. Exactly. He can play with it whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Okay, so that definitely create a possibility for Orochi to be alive.
Yeah.
If Oda is gonna bring Orochi's back, if Oda is gonna bring Orochi back, I would advise him to please be careful. The redemption stuff with Orochi, that will make the Scabbers and Luffy look very, very bad. Because again, this man have done some irredeemable stuff.
It's like, I don't know. I don't see it being something that Luffy in particular would even be involved in. It would come down to the Scabbards because they're the ones that were hurt the most by Orochi's actions.
Yeah. Even Zoro, I mean, he killed Yasue.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a despicable person, man.
He is, and that's the point where I just don't see how he can actually be redeemed. But anyway, so Kaido is again asking Orochi's followers to join him, which should be the easy decision to actually make. I mean, Orochi, even if Orochi isn't dead, what is dead is Kaido's trust and use for Orochi. So you don't have Kaido as a backative anymore. You have Kaido as an enemy.
Yeah.
That would be similar to what happened when Gotti was about to infiltrate the Tea Party, and he look over and he see Katakuri, Oven, Daifuku, and he's like, yo, these guys were once our trusted allies where we feel so safe around them. Now we're going to make them our enemies. So Orochi's followers should definitely look funny from that perspective. Because again, if you say no, King, Jack, Queen, Flying Six, they are not your friends anymore.
Nope. You got to figure it out on your own at this point.
Figure it out on your own. Exactly. So the rational decision here would be to say yes. But I'm the one that's seen the most loyal. Is actually Oniba leader, Fugoku Rojo.
Yeah, him. I wonder what the Maragumi. I wonder what they're gonna do. Yeah, it was just kind of like, and I think the logical thing to do is just like go with Kaido.
It's right, Kaido. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fight King, Queen, and Jack?
It's like, hey man, we with y'all, bro. It is what it is. We with y'all.
So Kiku's sword, or at least what we think is a Kiku's sword, because the way it's drawn, it could be any sword. So even the blood. Yeah, it could be any sword. Yeah, it could be a sword that's through her fucking chest. Who knows?
We're not sure what the hell's going on there.
She's crying. I don't think she had the strength to be Kanjuro. No disrespect to Kiku, but again, she was not portrayed that strong. So I don't know why she's getting this portrayal now.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why either. I mean, she's a student of Kinemon, which implies that she's Kinemon's inferior, and Kinemon is not that particularly strong compared to like the likes of Ashidoji, Nekomushi, Inarashi, Denjiro, and now with Kawamatsu showing that he can be stopped by Kanjuro, who can also at the same time draw clones. Like, Kanjuro is insane. I don't think she has the strength to beat him.
Yeah,
and it's not ink because it's blood on the blade. So I have no idea what happened here, and she's crying too. So
Izo died.
I don't know. I have no idea what happened here.
If something happened to Izo, that'd be the worst thing.
That'd be the worst. Again, she just came in, and then she's gonna. He just came in, and he's gonna be killed. So Kaido announced that Yamato will be the leader of the new Onigashima, which I think he's calling Wano Country New Onigashima instead of Onigashima, New Onigashima. So if you're confused, I think Kaido means Wano when he says New Onigashima. I think that's what he's referring.
I think
to.
for the most part, like Wano, the
Yeah,
entirety
he's
of
calling
Wano
it-
will be
yeah,
called
he's
New
called New
Onigashima.
Onigashima. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's kind of what I perceive.
Yeah, so I
And
think
of course,
the entirety of like Wano
Yeah,
and Onigashima is gonna be like just merged in a way, just be New Onigashima. You know what I'm saying?
And,
Where I think that's what he's going for.
Marco made a reference. I think it was all the way back when he was introduced. Back in Wano, that he said they're calling that island Onigashima now, which implied that it was called something before.
Else.
Yeah, so this might have been the first time where Onigashima have been given a name or a change, or at least some from a different hierarchy that have been used. So we're gonna be interested to see what happens. Where Oda's gonna go with that, because again, that big ass sword. We have Kid, we have Law, we have so many different people that can use it and give us lore and what that sword is. That's gonna be because that's like a gold mine for Kid. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's an insane metal.
He can go crazy.
He can go crazy with that. He go crazy with that. So we're gonna definitely
go crazy with that, bro.
We're gonna get it down the lore on Onigashima. So Yamato doesn't want to become the shogun, of course, because again she hates Kaido.
Yeah.
And Luffy, I'm gonna go say Momonosuke. Okay. Given who we have in our arsenal right now, where we have Sanji with invisibility, Zoro with his flying slashes, I think Oda should probably use one of those guys to at least make the first move to say Momonosuke than Luffy, because he's very far away right now. It would be a stretch to justify him running all the way from here, beating the Tobiropos, and say Momonosuke. That would be a bit of a stretch.
There's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on here, because again, I think page 1 and guys should be very close to where he is.
Yeah.
So hopefully this is Sanji's reintroduction into the
yeah, he has everything he needs to do something.
Yeah, everything. He definitely has. And again, with Nami being so close as well, he probably was tracking her and probably let her get captured. Just to create a plan, like, he didn't want to rescue her that quick. He probably wanted to calm down first. So it would be good to see Sanji coming in. But the only issue is that Calamity's been on stage. That's going to be a very, very hard thing to do. But if he pulls it off, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it is Sanji. He's been pretty clutch all the entire story.
That's true.
But Oda must be careful. He doesn't want to come on and look incompetent. You don't want King and Queen to be blindsided by an invisible man, where they should use your observation haki to sense. So hopefully Oda does it in a way. He does it in a way, like, if he does it, it makes both parties look good in a sense, where one doesn't look completely stupid.
Hopefully
not. Hopefully not. That would be bad if Sanji just creeps up on 3 commanders and take away a guy and just leave. That would be crazy.
Yeah, with all them there. Oh man.
Hey, darling, there is like that would just be that would be like,
what
whoa. So I'm surprised we haven't seen Amapo yet. Where'd that pool go? With the washroom break? What?
Yeah, it's weird.
He's where he's supposed to be, but you haven't even seen him yet. I wonder if he's the one that's in the back. I wonder if he's the guy that's in the back here. No, it's not him. No.
Apo is pretty. I wouldn't be surprised if like X Drake is doing something like kind of like marine like, and then Apo like finds out about it. Like
X Drake is on Dendemushi right now.
Yeah, he gotta be.
Dendemushi right now.
He gotta be just trying to come up the back way, get on the gondola.
Oh god. He's gonna be in Dendemushi right now. And just so we don't forget, Yugo the Flower and also some of the guys from Rebellion are also in here along with Robin and Jinbei. So we do have forces to actually fight if it does come down to a fight.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, like the only people that which are that's significant. But the only people that they can't really mess with right now is like Big Mom and Kaido. You know what I'm saying? Like the forces.
Well, I wouldn't call out King. I wouldn't count King out.
I think for King, like you have people you can kind of justify.
You're holding them off for like, yeah, sure, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas like there's nobody right now on the side of the alliance that you can justify even holding off Big Mom or Kaido.
Yeah, so I guess we can just admit that they're gonna be some incompetence coming in here at least some point.
Well,
someone's gonna
let's hope Marco stops Pearl's power, because if he doesn't, then they're gonna be holding off each other.
Yeah. Oh God. I hope he's not. I hope it's not Spirit that he saw, because it's somebody else. Please God, but most likely it is.
If it is somebody else, that'd be really cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It would be really cool. Let's just appreciate just the right hand man energy by King. Like, I know this was discussed earlier, but Jesus Christ, he just hands Kaido's blade, like just casually, like he knew what's about to happen.
These right hand commanders, you know, as much as people try to place them just in the same slot or just, you know, the same portrayal as regular commanders, is not. It's not.
They do get special treatment.
They get special treatment.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Like when I started, I'm like, whoa, that's pretty.
Even
cool.
outside of that, like King,
he's insane.
He was the one that kind of put everything together. That Toby Roppo was like, yo, I heard all your problem.
Like, yeah, I'm here to solve them.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm here to solve them before it even became a problem.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is.
So probably a bit of a short chapter review, because again, we're kind of busy. I have work in the morning. I'm Brago. I have stuff that I have to take care of. Don't you want to talk about I think we'll talk about the anime at the next time.
We're at 1 hour and 11 minutes in, so
okay, that's good.
Yeah, we can touch on it real quick. Just the editor stuff.
Yeah. So what editor name is? I don't even know his name.
I don't know, but that whatever editor said that.
Whatever editor, yeah.
He said that at this point, I think it's the first time that he's cried since being Oda's editor. But in chapter 987, more than likely, he got emotional and cried.
And just so people to not take this to heart, there have been numerous editors of numerous different mangas that have said wild stuff like this is the best chapter ever in the series. I remember Togashi's editor saying that when Togashi came back off the break, it's going to be the best one chapter ever, and a lot of stuff. Like,
yeah,
editors are there to sell publications, so don't take their words at face value. Plus, again, always remember, people's opinion on stuff are very different, because I know many stuff that I like in One Piece and I said it's epic, people don't like. So
yeah,
if he cry, it doesn't mean we're gonna cry.
Yeah, it's just I feel like for people, it's like you're almost setting an expectation.
Yes, you are. Exactly. You know what he's doing. I mean, they know what they're doing. I mean, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, you know, and it's building the anticipation for it. Not saying, like I said, you can think for yourself and feel how you feel, but something that's weird that people always talk about is expectations, where they say, well, you know, you are the ones who have crazy expectations. Just like, well, when you read the story, you always have an expectation that the story is going to be good, right? That's why you keep reading One Piece, because there's an expectation that it's set, an expectation that it's kind of built up. So we can't say expectations are solely created by the fan base, because the expectations they kind of revolve around not only the source material but also previous history. So
yeah,
you know, with like the stuff the editors are saying, it's like they've hyped up things before that's kind of fallen flat, but they've hyped up things before that's kind of been like, okay, I see why they would say that's great. So I feel like with expectations for the community, at least, and with just information flying all over the place, 987 is going to be highly anticipated. Like, that's just
wait, I think you said for 986 upcoming chapter, not 987.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they said the upcoming chapter, but you know, Oda, like, the chapters are done.
Okay, like, so he probably has one.
Yeah, it's probably the chapter
before.
Yeah, so it's more than likely 987.
Let me get a confirmation. Let me go on Sandman. I think he was the one that brought the story first. Okay, so he said after he read the next chapter, which is 986. So it is 986. So it's the next one that's coming out in probably about 4 or 5 days. Yeah, and he said that he shed tears since he became an editor. So again, take it as what you want to take it. I mean, I'm not really that hype because I mean, tears isn't really what I really want to see right now. I want to see epicness. So I'm not really that hype, but could be involved 3 people: Orochi, or Kiku, or Kanjuro, or Momonosuke. 4.
Yeah. What about Pedro?
Will of P.
Yeah, Will of P, man.
Okay, what if we get a surprise factor where Jimby and Big Mom discuss what happened at OK Island, like what really happened? If there was something different from what Jimby told us, that would be
cool.
That would be great. That would be great.
I like that a lot.
Because I would not be expecting that.
Yeah, I would like that. I'm not gonna lie.
I would like that because I do think something really happened.
Yeah, something
Honestly,
happened that you're not telling us.
I definitely think something happened because that's just if Big Mom will take a L like that. Bro, I don't even know. I'm not gonna go back into that, but I'm hoping something happened to Jinbei's crew.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, that's the episode this week. Hopefully, we try to be consistent. I think you can hear in our voices, in our expressions, in our energy that we're not really at the highest. Right now, I'm going like 2 hours sleep in like 48 minutes, in like 48 hours.
You're not a peak performance.
Trust me, man, not a peak performance. I'm drained. Working 4 hours, but again, we got to get it out. So thanks for watching. If you do make it this far, I hope you did. This is Lando checking out. Exodus.
Peace.